Hey, what's up? Back again. Another movie review. The Marvels movie review. First, I want to start off by saying this is definitely better than the first movie, hands down. I did not, I did not care for the first Captain Marvel movie, but I wasn't on the, oh, this is the worst. Oh, this is the worst movie ever. Blah blah blah. I wasn't bashing it to that extent like everybody else was, but I wasn't. But at the end of the day, I wasn't the biggest fan of the first movie. Um, yeah. So the sequel is, yeah, five way better than the first movie. Way more fun, energetic. You know, better assembled cast this time around. Yeah, the first movie made $1 billion. This one, yeah, it's not gonna hit $1 billion, but it don't matter. Like, people be so stuck on, well, if a comic book movie doesn't hit $1 billion, it's not successful. It doesn't have to hit it. All comic book movies don't have to hit $1 billion in order for it to be successful. As long as it hits the 600 to 800 million mark, worldwide, throughout its entire theatrical run, that's still a win. But pretty much, the plot, Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, Kamala Khan, like the three of them come together. Um, you know, they pretty much give you like a brief, like a brief catch up of like of all the previous stuff. So people would know who these characters are. Like if you haven't watched, like if you haven't watched WandaVision or Miss Marvel or even Secret Invasion, like you don't really need to watch those. You don't really need to watch those to, be invested in these characters. Like I said, it's a comic book movie, tons of action. That's what you're gonna get. Pretty much their powers are entangled, like quantum entanglement. Pretty much like whenever like the three of them use their powers, um, at the same time they all like teleport to different like to each other's locations. Um, but like I said, it's only when the three of them are using their powers at the same time. Um, is when the teleporting takes place. Overall, this, like I said, while the movie was good, it definitely had its problems. No comic book movie is perfect. Um, the main villain, like pretty much like the first half and the third act of the movie were good. The second act is when it gets kind of boring. During the second act, like middle of the movie, it gets kind of boring. A little stale. But they do pick back up during the third act. The main villain was also another like complaint. Like the actress, was good. She was good in the role. Like she wasn't like acting, like as far as like acting wise, she wasn't like terrible. Like as far as like threat wise, she was, and she didn't really get to do. That's what I mean. Like she didn't really get to do a lot in this movie to really show why she was, why she's like, like a threat level. She, of course, she gets killed off at the end of the movie. Um, yeah, they, like I said, this movie was kind of short, which I'm not complaining. Um, but yeah, it was like, I think the movie, like the runtime is like an hour and 45 minutes long. So yeah, that's pretty a short runtime. But yeah, the main villain, she wasn't given enough to do. She got killed off in like the dumbest way possible. Um, um, you know, So that they defeat the villain at the end, and then Monica Rambeau gets um, she gets stranded in a parallel dimension, and Carol and Kamala, they go, with their daily lives, pretty much. And then the movie pretty much ends. Um, Pretty much like the end of the movie, we get the Young Avengers tease with Kamala recruiting Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and they're talking about recruiting other young heroes, and they mention Cassie Lang, which is Ant-Man's daughter, who we saw in Quantumania. So she was going to be like the next recruit, and then we get the mid-credit scene where we catch back up with Monica Rambeau, who has awakened in the Xavier Institute, and she is greeted by an alternate version of her mother in this reality, who is binary, which is, if you're a comic book reader, you would know binary is the one of Carol Danvers like super form, and that she uses in the comics when she turns goes supernova, pretty much. And then we get a cameo appearance by Kelsey Grammer's Beast from the Fox X-Men movies, which of course is more he's not in makeup, is full CGI, which I thought was cool. Everybody in the theaters, everybody in the theaters liked it. So I like how they're slowly sprinkling X-Men characters throughout these shows and movies until we officially get the full X-Men reboot, in a few years. So, but yeah, man, overall, man, it was a good movie, man. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. I originally didn't plan on going to see this movie in theaters. I was originally going to wait for it to hit. I was going to wait for either the Blu-ray to drop, or wait till it came on Disney Plus to watch it. But I was like, fuck it. I wanna go see it. So but overall, man, 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, it was good, but yeah, it definitely had its problems. The second act of the movie was kind of boring in the middle, and the main villain was kind of lackluster, as in she wasn't given enough material. But aside from those two complaints, it was the positives outweigh the negatives. But until then, I got another review going up tomorrow, another album review. So be on the lookout for that. Until then, peace, one love.